forward, it would not hurt in my mind, I was gonna say this for Mark, for the financial report. We don't have to have the bond KPI, for example, appear under KPI reports. If it would make more sense under financial. The same thing with, this project status report. If going forward, during the project status report, we also have these new change order template things, where we're looking at individual projects, let's just combine it all together, rather than having a piecemeal throughout the agenda. I think to me, that's one of the benefits of looking at the project status report in the new way we are, is that we also can get the two birds with one stone approach and have a look at the change order ones and the ones that are over 5%. Why don't we just include that as part of this project status report? If you have a reason for not wanting to do that, we can certainly talk about it, but I think that would be a good idea.
But have they standardized the 5 and the 10% renovation, 5%?
No, for the time being, let's remember the 5 and 10% came up during training, where one of the architect firms said, we generally recommend to our clients, like the school district, that budget 5% change orders when it's a new construction, and 10% when it's a modernization, because you don't always know what's behind the wall, et cetera, et cetera. So that was kind of anecdotal to us. And all we're saying for the project status report, just for flagging purposes, which as we're saying now, let's make them bold, let's just use that 5% as a way to highlight those that seem high. You know, we're not trying to split hairs with 5 or 10% is good or bad or anything else. We can all say that 20% seems like a lot. So, you know, so I'm just saying, let's incorporate this new change order template report, all of what we just looked at for the Pinole Valley interim campus. Let's incorporate that, please, as a part of the project status report.
So I guess now we'll talk about the bonds KPI summary. We've identified 4 tables that is now being presented to the committee. One with all the voter-approved measures, the bonds that have been issued are all on table 1. Table 2 we have added to this report. Funds received from other sources and categories, and what those totals are, that's table 2, down in the left bottom corner. Table 3 has our bond funds, cash on hand, and then table 4 is the average monthly spending for the last 6 months. Probably the last 7 months.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. On table 2, I notice you're using June 30, 14. So I'm not sure why you wouldn't use the date of the January 30, 15. On table 3, what is the date of table 3 and 4? Is it the January 30 date?
It should be the January 30 date, yes.
Okay, so is it would have seemed to me be useful to have table 2 then have it January 30, then all, this entire report would be at the as of date.
I agree with you. My plan was to meet with staff before this was issued, and then actually we're going to be meeting after now, to get this on a monthly basis, where table 2 represents the actual end of month. I have yet to meet with staff. I've got staff in and out, for various reasons, and we just haven't met as a team with regard to this report and specifically that table, but I do agree with you.
And you had previously mentioned to me, Mark, the intention was to have the whole table be as of the date of the
That's
job.
correct.
And just for these particular numbers, you were comfortable with saying they were at least as of June 30th, which is admittedly a long time ago. And going forward, your intention is to have the whole
Have it all
page
be as of the,
as of that date.
of that date, yes. So I do agree with you, sir.
I have a couple other quick things, we don't wanna get too far behind it. Please look at the table one, matching funds, that heading goes with the prior report, or an older version, because it really should, that's all of table two, and I think table two consists of categories other than just matching funds. So I think the recommendation I had before was something about funds from other sources, just as table two says. So anyway, please look at that, just, because we want to be clear on our nomenclature, right? I'm sure you agree.
I do.
So anyway, that column, 180,827,919, does match, of course, with table two, and we want the nomenclature to be the same. And along those lines, the same thing with table three, matching funds, and I remember, gosh, who was your predecessor? Oh, how quickly?
Martin
yeah.
Coyne.
Martin had indicated that, you know, because it was meant to say, of the money on hand, what are the what's the proceeds from bonds, and then all other monies. And so.
In table three?
In table three, in other words, instead of just matching funds, and Martin was kind of implying that he wasn't gonna be keeping track of it, it was just gonna be one lump sum, and if that's the case, then just please modify table three. We just wanna know what's on hand, and very quickly, I know it's getting in the weeds, but I think this is important. I'm jumping ahead to the SKPI, the school's KPI. And the bottom line on page three for amounts spent to date through 2/18 is $1,156,886, et cetera. So $1,156,000,000 total spent to date. And as we have on the bonds KPI, of measures amount, we've spent $1,000,004,000,000. So the assumption is that 152-ish million difference must be other monies, like in table two. Is that a fair?
Yes.
So just generally speaking. So what I'm saying is, if it is 152-ish from other non-bond sources, which is what the comparison of the bond KPI and the schools KPI says, then it says we haven't spent all of what we have received. In other words, 180 million received through this period of time. And if we make the assumption that roughly the difference between the $1,156,000,000 and the $1,004,000,000, you know, is other non-bond money. So I'm just saying that's one of the things we want to be clear on too, is that we've received all of table two from these other sources, but apparently we haven't spent all of it. So it should appear probably in table three. So
And I think what's important, what I'll add to the monthly financial report is a similar report that includes funds 35, 25 to fund 21.